Now, we're going to hear from a mother and a daughter who have a very distinct difference of opinion. True?
Very true.
All right, I'm going to let you state your position first, then I'm going to let you state your position. So I'll give you like 30 seconds, go.
I want my daughter away from this very charming, beautiful, gang-banging, drug-using, porn star bad boy.
Those are some pretty serious labels, and I'll ask you some questions in a minute.
Okay.
All right, what's your rebuttal?
I think my mom is crazy, and she's gonna say anything she wants to try to break me and my boyfriend up, but I love Michael, and I'm gonna be with Michael.
So you hope that being here today, I'm gonna help you break her up from him.
Correct.
Now, you said some serious things. You said he's a gangbanger. You said he's a gay porn guy.
Yes.
A druggie.
Yes.
Why would you want to be with someone like that?
Because that's not what he is. She just tells everyone, like, I'm with a horrible person and I'm self-destructing, which isn't true.
Well, let's take a look at this, see what you think.
Ever since Kaylin has been with Michael, she has been a different person. All of her priorities have changed.
Mom definitely feels that Michael is bringing my life down. I couldn't tell you why.
When I first met Michael, I knew that he had prior drug use. He was no longer using.
What concerned me most was these places that he was frequenting. One of the clubs is known drug haven, and that he was bringing my daughter into these clubs.
It was just absurd to think that I would do drugs. I'm a pretty strong-willed person and have self-control, so if someone puts it in my face, I can say no.
Michael had a lapse. He had spent an entire weekend with a friend of his using drugs.
Michael is definitely clean now, and he has been for months.
My hope is that Kaylin will get her head on straight and put her priorities back in order.
My mom is definitely having trouble letting me grow up.
I will not sit and approve of a relationship that is toxic.
Well, those aren't the only issues that Melanie has with her daughter's boyfriend. We touched on it, but here's the full story.
I personally believe that Michael is bisexual.
My mom thinks that Michael is gay, which is crazy because he's always had girlfriends.
He frequented gay bars. He appears to have nothing but gay friends. He takes trips with gay men.
That assumption is really absurd, and I'm just kind of offended by it. I mean, it's 2011. People can have gay friends without being gay.
When I go to Michael's Facebook page, there were only pictures of Michael very scantily clothed, and they appear to be the same types of photographs that you see in gay publications.
Where does she come up with this stuff? And I'm like, I have no clue at all where she's coming from.
He told us that he was going out to San Diego to do a modeling shoot with Calvin Klein, and I have yet to see the proof.
I don't know what Kelly's mom thinks I did in San Diego. I wish Kelly's mom would have a lot more trust in me.
I am extremely petrified at the fact that my daughter could contract an STD.
I love Kelly, and I want to be with Kelly, and I want us to get along for Kelly's sake.
Okay, this is the guy that you say has come between you and your daughter. So, Michael, come on out.
How's it going?
How you doing, man?
Good, how you doing?
Have a seat.
Yes, sir.
Well, we were talking about you like you weren't here, because you weren't, so I thought we'd bring you out
All right.
and put you in the mix here.
All right.
Are you in love with her?
Yes, sir, very much.
Okay. Do y'all have a future?
We do have a future in
I mean,
plans.
do you
in
intend
golf.
are you going to marry this girl?
I would like to.
Putting you on the spot.
Yeah,
here.
absolutely.
As soon as I said that, she went.
You better say.
So it's your plan to marry her?
Yes, sir.
At some point. Now, there's been a lot of conversation out here about whether or not you're gay.
That's been around.
Are you gay?
No, sir.
Are you behaving in a way that would transmit a message to people like her mother that you are?
I wouldn't say I'm transmitting a message. I mean, I have friends that are gay. I hang out with them like I would hang out with all my other friends.
You know, one of the things that did bother me is you said that you left her standing crying in the street because you were going to go on a trip with one of your gay friends, and she said, no, I don't want you to go, I want you to stay here with me. Don't choose him over me. You chose him over her, left you standing crying in the street, and went off on this trip. Did that happen?
I just started dating Kaylin, and the opportunity with one of my friends came to go to Atlanta. She said, choose me or him. I go, he's my friend and you're my girlfriend. I'm not gonna pick between you guys. So I decided to go, and Kaylin wasn't crying on the middle of the street. She was crying because she was sad on a sidewalk. So that was kind
Dr.
of...
Phil, they had been dating at that time for probably 6 months. He had been living in my home for several months. I had already been witnessing lots of questionable behavior. It was apparent to me when she walked down the stairs that midday that she had been crying for hours. Her eyes were completely swollen, and she was begging and pleading with him. She was hanging inside of his car from the waist up, saying, please don't do this. Don't choose him over me. Don't leave me. Don't do this to us. She was a mess.
True?
Yes, but it was also, okay, no, not yes, because I was not hanging halfway inside a car. I kissed him for him to leave, so therefore, yes, had to bend down in the car, but it wasn't like I was hanging outside the car trying to get run over.
Well, you wouldn't have to bend down very far.
Yeah,
because,
okay, I leaned in.
You said you found a modeling gig online.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
And you went to do an underwear shoot.
Yes, sir.
And your gay friend met you there. And true?
He didn't meet me there. It wasn't a planned thing.
You went together?
No, we didn't go together.
Was he there?
He came there for a job. He was just happened to be there. It wasn't like we planned it.
This was in another town?
This was in San Diego, yeah.
Okay, and you just happened to both be in San Diego at the same time?
I was there before, and he had some job thing to do, so
Yeah.
that's who came out there.
And you're concerned that this was a porn shoot?
My concern is that it wasn't what he said it was, and my assumption at that point, given past behavior, was yes.
Okay.
I felt as if he was on a
And this was a
porn shoot.
Calvin Klein shoot?
Well, I got online, I saw this thing, I sent some pictures in. They said this could potentially be used for Calvin Klein. They flew me down there. I stayed at this hotel, I did these pictures. I tried to email the lady back, I never got him back.
Are you registered with an agency?
No, sir.
Are you a member of the union?
No, sir.
You just found this online and somebody said, come down here, we're gonna take pictures of you in your underwear.
Yeah.
And you don't know what happened to the pictures?
Well,
You've called them back since and they
didn't
don't
call-
answer the phone?
I called and emailed.
and
Dr. Phil?
no response?
No, sir.
Have you ever seen the pictures?
When I was
Did
there,
you get like a proof sheet?
I didn't get a proof sheet.
You did not?
No, sir.
And you don't know where the pictures went?
No, sir.
They just paid you to take these pictures and then they don't answer the phone ananymore? They don't answer emails anymore?
Yeah, I guess that's how it happened.
Are you concerned about that?
Not really. I mean, went up to San Diego, so I wasn't really concerned. If it happened, it happened. If it didn't, it didn't.
Because you said, and I quote, it seemed legit at first.
Yeah, it seemed legit, absolutely.
But do you think maybe it wasn't?
Maybe.
I mean, I don't know.
I didn't get any emails back, so obviously it wasn't legit, I guess, huh?
That sounds fishy to me.
I'm not really concerned about it. I mean, it was a trip paid for, so, and I got to go to San Diego and have a good time.
But you don't know where those pictures might turn up.
No. I mean, it's just me in underwear, so it's not like a big deal.
Yeah, well, okay, well, just you in your underwear, but she also said you were a gangbanger. You don't put off the gang vibe to me.
No, sir. I'm far from it.
He has admitted to being in a gang at an early, before we knew him. Before we knew him.
Never admitted to be getting in trouble as a child, but never being in a gang.
Okay, so you think he's a gangbanger and possibly a drug dealer?
I know that he seems to live large and have lots of indispensable money and no proof of where it comes from.
Are you a drug dealer?
No, sir.
Do you do drugs?
I have in the past.
But you don't now?
No, sir.
Now, Michael has admitted to taking drugs in the past. Here's a bit of the drug history. He's taken Xanax, marijuana, crystal meth, cocaine, and ecstasy. That's a bit of a drug history.
Yeah, I mean-
Are you concerned about that?
90% of the population is going to admit to doing at least smoking pot in college or in high school. So if you overcome it, I don't know why it's a big deal.
But you were concerned enough about you wanted to take a drug test before you moved in together.
But that was for my own sake. That was to know that he was clean. It's
Right.
not, I don't
And
think that it's a bad thing of someone to do drugs or them to be beneath me.
all right. So did you do the drug test?
Yeah, we did before I moved in.
Yeah. Where'd you get it?
Walmart,
You went to Walmart
the
and got
pharmacy.
it? Okay. Did you take the drug test?
Yes, sir.
Because you told us two different things. You said you bought the test and he took it. Then you said, well, actually, when you bought it, that was enough proof for you, so you didn't ask him to take it. So which was it?
Well, I would also believe him, but I would also want to reassure myself that.
Well, you
Kaylin-
just told us two different stories. I'm just wondering which one is true.
No, he took it
He took it. Okay.
in my apartment before we even moved in.
Okay.
Before he moved in with me.
Which is it?
Before I could move in with Kaylin, she asked me to take a drug test.
I just made him promise me that he was going to be clean.
We went to some store, we grabbed it. As we went to the counter, she just said, you know, I believe you. You came this far. There's no need. I trust you. It made me feel really good that finally we're gaining some trust back and we're working on our relationship, taking things a little further.
Which is it? You both just told me you got it and you took it, and then you just told us on tape that you didn't take it.
I mean, I've taken drug tests. I mean.
Well, that wasn't the question.
Okay.
The question was that you went to the store, you bought the test, did he take it or did he not? You said, yes, he did. You said, yes, I did. Did you or did you not? I'm
Yeah.
just trying to get to the facts here.
Yeah, we've taken drug tests before.
So we're talking about two different times here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because in that tape, you said you didn't take it.
We've
But you clearly
attempted
told me,
twice.
because you clearly told me you did. And then you clearly told me you didn't. I'm just trying to be sure we're dealing with the facts here. Are you clean now?
Yes, sir.
Would you take a drug test now to prove it?
If I have to, yeah.
No, you don't have to. You don't have
just
to do
saying, I mean-
anything. I'm just saying, if what I'm trying
I'm
to
saying
do.
yes, I'll take a drug test,
If she
absolutely.
if she is falsely accusing you, you seem like a very nice.
Would you like me to take a gay test too on that subject? I mean, I'm just asking, are gangbanger tests, or drug dealer tests? I mean, do I need to take those as well?
I guess you could.
I mean, how do you test for all those
well,
too?
we'd have to get a polygraph
I
operator
know.
here.
Absolutely.
If all of that comes back positive, that he's telling the truth, are you going to back off?
If that were all to come back and he is telling the truth, I can own my stuff. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
No, because you still want to be in control, so you
No,
can
this
still
is
find
not
some
a
way.
control, Dr. Phil. This is, that little girl is the reason I breathe. Sorry.
I know I've done a lot of bad stuff in the past, and I can't take that back. I mean, people do change, and I mean, obviously you should know that as well, because I think you're with somebody who's changed, right?
Yes.
They've changed, right? They've done bad stuff. I mean, why can't I change? Why can't I have that opportunity to change?
Number one, this is not about who I'm with. This is about my daughter, and this is about you.
I love your daughter.
I thought you did.
It's like you can't let
Past
go
tense.
because she's growing up, and now you're finding opportunities to, I don't know, I'm not sabotage. I understand where you're coming from.
Have you done cocaine since you lived together?
No, sir.
Has he?
No.
Okay, and you're confident of that.
Yes.
And you said if he was doing drugs, that would be a deal breaker for you.
Oh, that's 100% deal breaker.
Do you want him to take a drug test?
I mean, I trust him, but I mean, that's up to him. I don't really care.
Well, he said he would.
Which is fine.
And you said if because you're saying he's doing drugs, if he's telling the truth, you owe him an apology.
I think he has done drugs
Well, it's
in the
going to
past.
show. It's going to show up on drug test if he takes it today.
I think he has done drugs in the past 2 months.
Have you?
In the past 2 months?
Yes. Since you have been with my daughter, you have
I've
done
used drugs since I've been with your daughter, not
drugs.
since I moved in. I'm not gonna lie. I have used drugs. Obviously, that's the reason why sometimes I didn't come home, because I didn't want to be around her, and I was embarrassed.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. So I told you that. That was a known
I
fact.
do, and I appreciate
I
that.
told you that. I was honest
Would
about
you
that.
pass a drug test if you took it?
Yeah, I would pass the drug test. I've never stated that I didn't do drugs. I was dating your daughter. I did. I stated that with you. I thought we came to a conclusion, you know, of getting clean. I'm clean
We
now.
did. We had that conversation.
Absolutely.
That after a weekend where he completely went AWOL, from a Thursday, basically, I think till Saturday or Sunday, he was completely gone.
I was, when you say completely gone, that was to you guys? I was still...
No, you weren't.
Okay.
She was on my bed at midnight, crying her eyes out, telling me, I have not heard from Michael. I have not heard from Michael. He came home from that. He admitted using the drugs at that point, and we put together a plan as a family. We talked about it.
All right, I want to rule this out. You say you'll take a drug test. I would like for you to do that. I would like for you to do, and I appreciate your willingness to do that. And I think you need to see that. I think you need, if he passes it, I think you owe him an acknowledgement that he has. April is here. She is a drug test technician, and I will have you go with her right now and take a drug test so you can cross that off your list. So April, you want to take Michael, and you can go do that right now? And I want to talk to you while he's gone. You can stay here, because I want to talk to you. Now, Melanie says there's no denying that her daughter's boyfriend is personable and good-looking. You agree with that?
Absolutely.
But you have problems with his character.
I do.
This is how she views this. This is your version. I wrote down her version of him. This is his resume from your mother's point of view. Experience: 2004, served 2 days for assault and battery. 06, abused crystal meth. 06, used ecstasy. 2010, arrested for fraud. 2010, abused cocaine. 2010, stopped using cocaine. Education, college dropout. Experience with Xanax and marijuana. That's pretty much your version of him, true?
Yes.
So if that's the way she sees him, would you expect any other point of view from her?
No, but this isn't.
What's wrong on there?
Okay, 2010, arrested for fraud. No.
Is that not true? That is true.
College dropout. Okay. If you're a college dropout and you're planning to go right back to school, then
Okay,
wouldn't
was he or was he not arrested for fraud?
No. He was arrested for something that had to do with a car, but
He sold a car he didn't own.
he did own it, is what everything came down to. And then in the end, when we talked to the car dealer, it was dropped.
You pull him up, it's there. But do you understand? I mean, come on, give her a break. If those are the facts as presented to her, she's going to be concerned.
Yeah.
And if the facts presented to her are you left crying, and he's going on, and you got to admit, this photo shoot, particularly with somebody that's already sensitized to this issue, that sounds real fishy. That had to sound fishy to you.
It did in the end because we both tried to contact them, and that's when we were like, wow, that was really not something you should have done. Because he had modeled in the past, so I wasn't like, oh, don't go. It was an opportunity.
Well, and listen, if he's gay, as I told him, embrace that. Be who you are.
Then I would be his best friend and not his girlfriend.
Of course, exactly. And you would want to know that, and he needs to be honest with you about that. And if he's not, then he's not. I'm not. It just is what it is. Now, what I'm interested in from you is you have to understand something here.
Okay.
You can love her and not love all of her choices.
I do, and I have made that perfectly clear. I have, Dr. Phil, I have backed off substantially. I don't badmouth him to her. I don't say ugly things to her anymore.
Keyword
Yeah,
to me.
but you.
But it's going to
listen,
get back to me.
Yeah, she clearly knows what your position is here.
She
I'm just-
knows my
Okay.
she
All
knows
right. Well,
me.
listen, we've got him taking a drug test. From what I hear, he's a little nervous about taking his test. He apparently says he's not able to for some reason. I don't know. We're going to find out. In the meantime, I am going to talk to another mother who says that her teen texts her boyfriend over 200 times a day. They've exchanged as many as 8,000 a month. The daughter refuses to end it, even though the boy has broken up with her 4 times. So like you, it's a mother saying, I don't want to see my daughter hurt. Now, Lori says her teenage daughter is crying herself to sleep, won't eat anything, all because her boyfriend broke up with her for the 4th time. Take a look.
I feel that Mackenzie's boyfriend is holding her back.
My mom is extremely controlling and very overbearing, mostly with my relationships.
She's been dragging this on for 2 years, 4 breakups. Mackenzie's boyfriend makes her sit at home when all of her other friends are going out on dates, and she waits for him night after night and gets to see him for maybe an hour or so, and then he has to leave again. Mackenzie has cried herself to sleep more than a few times. My child's self-esteem is getting stomped on by a ridiculous texting, superficial relationship.
I text a lot, maybe 200 texts a day, 6,000 texts per month.
The texting is out of control. She cannot put that phone down. It is like a heroin addiction.
It just bothers her because I'm texting my boyfriend and she doesn't think that I should talk to him.
I asked him if he was crazy about her, if he was in love with her.
And my mom did this behind my back, so then I got a phone call from him and we broke up because of the stress and the overbearingness of my mom.
And then they started texting one day later again. Have we done something wrong in the self-esteem department here to have you continue to cling on to some sick, twisted texting relationship? We can't quite figure out why this continues.
Okay, I'm here with Lori and Mackenzie. They tell me you've been backstage and upstairs barking at each other since you've been here. True?
Yes.
What do you want to see happen here?
This has gone on for 2 years, 4 breakups. They're texting the very next day, many times, and I feel it's holding her back from other opportunities.
Isn't being involved and breaking up and get back together and breaking up, I mean, isn't that kind of typical for teenagers? I mean, are you
Yeah.
like a weird kid or something?
No.
Or is this kind of,
No, I'm not a weird kid.
are you more invested in it than he is?
Yes, probably.
Any relationship where someone is pursuing and someone is retreating constantly in the relationship is really unhealthy.
Even though we aren't together, we are still friends. Like, we both want to be friends. It's not like,
But you want to be more than friends.
I think that if we can't be together, that he was a big part of my life and I still want to be friends with him. I don't see what she has a problem with that.
Okay, but does he have a problem with it?
No, he says, I want to be friends with you. I don't want to not talk to you. I want to be friends with you.
Okay, but does that mean 8,000 text messages in a month?
No.
I mean, if I'm in a relationship with somebody and how many times have y'all broken up?
4.
And how many times did you break up?
None.
Okay, so
Him.
it's him breaking up with you
Yes.
over and over and over. Okay, so that's a clue that this doesn't have a long-term future. And so that means if you continue to invest there, you're missing other things. That's your concern, right?
Yes.
You're missing finding somebody that thinks you're wonderful and loves you till the end of the earth. You're missing those, you could take 6,000 of those text messages and send them to other friends or other things where you could cultivate other relationships.
See, I think me talking to him will keep me like pushing other guys away. It's not that. I don't shun people. I don't say, no, I don't want to talk to you. I just want to talk to him. That's not how it is at all. And her saying I'm missing out on things in life, I completely disagree.
You think the reason that y'all have broken up so much is in large part due to your mother.
A couple weeks ago when we broke up, she called him behind my back, didn't talk to me about it, didn't ask me. And she called him and he called me and said that she'd called and had given her opinion, you know, if you're not in love with her now, then you never will be, and saying that she doesn't think that this relationship is how it should be. And so we broke up, and, you know, part of me is saying, like, who's to say this is the right way to have a relationship? Just because it's not what you want doesn't mean it's not what I want.
So you called him?
Absolutely.
I think you kind of ran a red light there.
She barely saw him 5 hours in a couple weeks. And I'm like, what 20-year-old doesn't want to see their 17, almost 18-year-old girlfriend more than 5 hours in 2 weeks when you're dating? It's just not right to me.
Let me tell you, I think it's great for parents to be involved. That's really up to the point that it starts to backlash on you.
Right.
And I wouldn't have called the boy. But forget about what your mom's telling you here. Obviously, we've just met. But right now, you're being intellectually dishonest when you say you want to be friends. You know it and I know it. That's not what you want. You're willing to settle for that if you think it keeps your hand in the game until it can turn around and you can be more than friends. But that's not honest when you say that. Now, you and I both know that. Leave this guy alone. If it's meant to be, and if he's going to find you and pursue, he'll do that. But he will not as long as you're pursuing and he's retreating. You've got to retreat. He may come back, he may not. But either way, it's not healthy for you to do what you're doing. Do you agree with what I'm saying?
Absolutely. It's definitely going to come better from Dr. Phil than Mommy. So
Yeah.
we've begged her. We've begged her.
The only thing worse than being in a dead-end relationship for a year is being in a dead-end relationship for a year and 1 day. Take a giant step back here. She's not just trying to control you. She's trying to advise you because she's been there. And by the way, she's right. I hate that. I hate that.
Thank you. Finally.
I hate it when you're right. All right. Will you hear what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I want you to watch this conversation. I want you to watch this like 10 times.
Okay.
All right? I'm sure you will anyway. How did I look? Did they show my shoes? How did I look? All right. As I was talking to Lori and her lovely daughter Mackenzie, we sent Michael off to take the drug test. What's happened?
I've just used the restroom like 3 times before I got out here, so I'm just waiting to use it.
So you haven't been able to
Yes,
give a specimen yet?
Yeah, not yet, but I will.
So to speak. Okay, and April is here. You're the technician. You stand ready to do this, right?
Yes.
So we're just going to wait.
Oh, that's fine. I mean, that's fine with me.
No, I don't want to put the pressure, because, you know, sometimes when somebody's staring at you to go, it's like you can't go. So we'll wait. So don't feel any pressure.
All right, I don't. I would try.
Don't feel any pressure at all. We'll wait if it's an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours or whatever it takes. We're going to be here. So we'll wait so you can relax and just do this whenever you're ready. So this is one of the miracles of television. It's going to be a break right here. When you next see me, it may have been an hour or 2 or 3, but we'll be back and we'll have a little sample and we'll have a little test and we'll finish this conversation.
I'm just really frustrated. I don't mind taking one of the privacy of my own home, which I had before. I mean, I could do it. I knew this was going to be about, and I tried to pee 3 times. I can't pee, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do drugs test national TV.
You can't pass the drug screen, right?
No, I can. I will do. I will pass a drug screen. I didn't want this to be about me doing drugs and that stuff. I want it to be, let's work on me and your mom.
But wait a minute. If you can take the drug screen and pass it, then that goes on national television and totally vindicates you. You agreed to take a drug test, and then
I'm not gonna do it.
Then that makes you look like you have something to hide.
That's fine. And
No, that's not fine. I mean, come on. If you're saying that you don't want anything to damage your reputation, that is the way to completely kill that in her mother's mind, in her mind, and in anybody's mind that's watching. You can totally kill it. It's been an hour and 15 minutes. There has been an awful lot going on about taking a drug test, and he did not want to do it on national television and all, and was resistant to that, wanted to do it privately. I said, that's fine. And you said, I'll do it, and I'll let them see it, and they can tell you whatever they want to tell you. And you're totally okay with that, right?
Yes, sir.
You don't have a problem in the world with this.
No, sir.
All right, now what we have tested for are amphetamines, cocaine, marijuana, methamphetamines, opiates, PCP, barbiturates, benzodiazepines, methadone, MDMA. It's a pretty broad drug screen by a very sophisticated test. What were the results?
Am I supposed to say it?
You're okay for her to say it, right?
Go ahead.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
That's what we said. You said
Yeah, that's
that
fine.
you would do this privately with them, and then they could tell me the
Say whatever they
results.
want.
It was negative,
Okay, it was negative.
right?
And for people that don't take drug tests every day, that means that he tested drug-free.
Correct.
Okay? So, and as I told you before you took this test, I had every belief that you were going to pass it. I've told him that for an hour ago. I did not think he was using drugs. And we've been through, gangbanger, gay porn, drug dealer, drug user.
He has used drugs since he has been in a relationship with Kaylin.
Okay.
After Kaylin told him, if you use drugs, I will not be with you again, and he used them again. She said on national TV a little while ago, if this test was positive, she would not be with him. She has said that before, and yet he has admitted to using drugs after she said those words to him.
Okay,
That's my issue.
you need to acknowledge
Yes,
that A, he came here.
correct.
He didn't have to
I'm
come
very
here.
proud of
He
him
came here
for
because
that.
you wanted him to come here.
Yes.
I feel like I've defended you about
sir.
that. I thought it was absurd to say that he was a gang member and
He said he was a gang member. He has told Kaylin he was a gang member. I am not repeating hearsay. He admitted he was a gang member.
If
well,
someone
that
was
is
a gang
hearsay
member,
by
why would I be
definition,
with them?
but that doesn't matter. What I'm saying is, as he sits here today,
Correct.
do you acknowledge he's drug-free?
Today he is drug-free, yes.
Well, no, he's not just drug-free today. He's been drug-free for a good while because this is a very
At least
sensitive
30
test.
days, right.
You need to acknowledge that.
I do acknowledge that. I am very proud of him for coming here, Dr. Phil.
I never wanted you and Kaylin's relationship to get sour. Ask Kaylin that. I had broken up because I never wanted to get in the way of you and Kaylin. Because I never had that as a kid, and I understand that.
Right. You two are in a toxic relationship.
To you, maybe.
You are not healthy together.
But how are we in a toxic relationship if we're taking positive steps forward? I don't know what else a responsible 19-year-old should be doing with her serious boyfriend. Like, should I run to Vegas and get married and pop out 3 kids and drop out of college? Or should I be congratulated for saying, you know what, I'm so proud of you for going to college. Thank you for bettering someone else's life and letting him push you and you push him to better yourself. It's like, what else should I be doing? And I'm trying to do the right thing, but it seems like the right thing in the end is the wrong thing, or it's not what she wants.
It is not the matter of what I want. You are not the same human being that you were.
Okay. You need to hear me here.
I hear you.
Well, that means you need to let me finish.
Okay.
If you want a relationship with your daughter going forward, you're going to have to lighten up a little bit here. You got to decide, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? Because you're being right. You're saying, I am the mother. I know best. You are different since you got involved with him. I'm sure she is. She's in love. That changes somebody. They start thinking they're grown up. They start thinking they're independent. They start doing different things that you wouldn't choose. But the bottom line is, this is not who you would choose for her.
That's not so. That is not true, Dr. Phil. I liked Michael. I approved
Well, we're talking about now.
of
Where are you now?
Michael. When he moved into my house, I approved of Michael. I moved him in there. I kept him close so that I could see what he was. When his actions did not line up with who he was telling me he was, if it looks like a duck, it quacks like a duck, it's a duck. I'm just too sorry, but you do.
And you think he's a duck? You think he's a gay duck?
I think he is a
A gay
bisexual.
drug-dealing duck.
I think he is bisexual. I think he is having relationships with other men. I don't care if he is bisexual.
Okay, but
I
you
will
have-
love him anyway.
Okay, but you have you have absolutely no basis for that, though, right?
Hold on.
No, wait a minute. Let her answer this
All right.
question. You have no evidence of that, right?
I do not have a picture of him involved with another man. No, I do not. I am a mother. I have a gut. I have a feeling. I have an intuition. That child, I told you before, is the reason I breathe. Yes, I'm protective. Yes,
But
I'm
if
overbearing.
that's correct,
Yes.
if you're correct, then that will work out between them.
Exactly.
They'll work out. You're not giving your daughter enough credit here.
I give my daughter credit. But
What'd you want to say?
But if it's her looking in, that's different from like me looking in. If I'm a woman and I'm the one who is with Michael every night and who lives with him, who is the one that is involved with him, okay, I'm a woman, and not to say like women are like, they're gonna get you, but if I was a woman and my boyfriend was sleeping with someone would know. And it would be me. You can't hide that every single night of your life coming home
That's
to me.
what I'm saying. I think you think she's just gone blind, all this. Just love is blind, and she's gone blind to all this. I think she has, I sense in her that she's pretty savvy for her age. I think she certainly has standards. And I think if she thought he was sleeping with anyone else, man, woman, or whatever, that would not be okay with her. That would not be okay with her. And true?
Yeah, very. If I suspected it, I would not
And
be with him.
you know that, right?
Yes, sir.
Let me conclude this conversation in this way. What you're doing is not working.
right, how's that working for you?
And your answer would be?
It's not.
Okay, so the idea is if it's not working for you, you got to do something different.
Right.
And I want you to have a relationship with your daughter. So what you need to do is support her and let them work these things out. If he is going a different way in his life, that will take its track in due time. And in the meantime, this is a stable young woman you've raised her. You should be proud of the job you've done. You understand you've got to take a deep breath, a step back, and take a different tact here.
Yes.
Or you're going to alienate yourself.
Yes.
And that's not going to work right. Okay. Michael, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. I want to thank all of my guests for being here today. Be sure and go to drphil.com for more information. And of course, you can find me on Facebook and Twitter. And I do like to hear from you guys. And boy, do you have opinions. And I do pay attention to them. I don't always agree, but I do pay attention. And as you know, I oftentimes respond. So I'll be talking to you on the World Wide Web. Thanks for being here. So long. Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.